Welcome to Fallen London. This is not by way of our first attempt at recording this game. In fact, a very long form recording exists of me playing this back when I was less well. But, well, I sound less well on it, and I'm not as proud of it as I could be. So I thought maybe I'd give another shot at taking in the sights of the Neath. Fallen London is, of course, a Farmville-style browser-based narrative game. An odd combination. With limited actions, you crawl through repeated story actions, which get you currencies that you're constantly trading in for one another. Complicated little economies, an addiction, drive at the bottom of it. But pretty interesting setting that they explore as they're laying out their scenarios to us. So, I'd love to be called Several Bats, but I've used that name, as has the backup name Several More Bats. So I guess we're going to be several other bats. This time around, I'll play as a gentleman. Suits me fine. Seems like mostly the same old cameos we've had for the entire run of the game. I always liked this one. I like the tomb colonist looking ones too, of course. Those immortal mummies. I like this dude with his silly little rat tail. I like the man in the mask. That could be a sword. Could be anything back there. This one's kind of fun. The hooded figure, but kind of a weak chin. None of them is a perfect representation of what we'd like to be in this world. We can go with this little fop, why not? I like his hair. Play Fallen London. It begins. Unfairly imprisoned. From up here, freedom seems so close. Fallen London sprawls below our stalactite cell, vast and illumined by 1,000 flickering gaslights. Only the bars of this prison keep us here, and not for much longer. Recall where we are. We descended here from the surface, where the sun still shines. In Fallen London, it's often encouraged to explore everything before moving on. Concentrate on escaping. We did not leave the surface behind to spend the rest of our days locked here. We'll take our time. A cavern the size of Europe, and a prison in a stalactite clinging to its roof. This is New Newgate, London's premier correctional facility, serviced by dirigibles and guarded by warders who wear lumpy sacks over their faces. It's best not to make jokes about the latter. They're not employed for their sense of humor. Below, the lights of fallen London glimmer at the edge of a dark cave sea like a handful of dropped jewels. During the day, when Londoners light more candles and gas lamps, the jewels are much brighter. But above you in the cavern roof, phosphorescent artificial stars are always visible. Deep, dark, marvelous. And now we need to get out. Onward. Concentrate on escaping. A plan forms. This is New Newgate, formed from a stalactite that hangs from the starry ceiling of the prison. It's a half-mile fall from the barred cell window to the ground far, far below. However, New Newgate is a prison, and prisons require prisoners. More to the point, prisoners require food. A supply dirigible brings food to the prison every day. It passes directly below our window, and the mortar that holds the window's bars in place is old and rotting. If we can work them free. New Newgate cannot hold us. Our imprisonment is unjust and worse, inconvenient. The means of our escape is clear. Now we must concentrate on the method. Observe the jailers. If we can learn their schedule, we may also learn to opportune movements to make our escape. This is a watchful challenge. Watchful challenges encompass observation, deduction, and the uncovering of secrets. Monotony. The jailers shuffle through the prison bearing lanterns and truncheons. Occasionally, they stick one or the other through the bars of a cell to discommode a prisoner within. We hear sobs, grunts, and the occasional "ooth-a-throo" from a rubbery prisoner. The sacks they wear for masks make telling them apart impossible. They do provide one advantage, though. When not drinking, dicing, or patrolling, one sits outside our cell and indulges in a discreet nap. If it weren't for the snoring, we wouldn't be able to tell. We make note of his rota and begin to wait for his next shift. Challenges will improve our skills even if we fail. We're learning the jailer's schedule now. Making an escape. The hour of our escape is clear. Now all we need is patience and a distraction. The former is our own affair. For the latter, we will need help. Fortunately, we have a cellmate. Observe the jailers if we can learn their schedule, etc. Looks like the same message that time. This will happen a lot, having to do the same action over and over so that we can progress. Convince our cellmate to assist in our escape. He is a literal devil. The yellow eyes are a giveaway. He is unlikely to be sympathetic to the jailers. The question is whether he'll be sympathetic to us. Persuasive challenges encompass the art of conversation, the forging of relationships, and the display of our own charisma. Far horizons. The unlucky devil is here by diplomatic arrangement. Fallen London enjoys an uneasy relationship with its nearest neighbor, Hell. They spy on each other frequently. This devil was unfortunate enough to be caught. The unlucky devil listens to our plan for only a moment, but he's convinced. Anything to be out of here, he says. Prison is not good for the soul. He gives us a hungry look, and then turns his attention to the bars of our cell. A moment's hesitation. Judging time down here is difficult. There is neither night nor day, only the green gleam of the false stars above and the gas lights of London below. All we can do is wait for the sleepy jailer to take up his post. The unlucky devil taps us on the shoulder as we watch. "What brought you down here?" he asks, his voice pitched low. "And made you risk this?" He gestures to the walls and the bars of New Newgate. The pursuit of pleasure. London is a city of vices, most unknown on the surface. They say you can drink wine made of mushrooms here. They say London was made for lovers. They say you can walk in dreams. They can't all be wrong. These choices are not permanent. The pursuit of discovery. London is a city on the brink of modernity. All manner of sciences, natural and otherwise, may be pursued here. The pursuit of wonder. Fallen London is a place like no other. It sits on the borders of hell, on the brink of a vast underground sea. Rubbery men rub tentacles with devils, clay men bandage tomb colonists, and more. The surface is a world away. The pursuit of escape. Fallen London is a world away from the surface. Things are permissible that are unthinkable here. Perhaps you wish to leave something behind. Perhaps you seek something unobtainable there. Pursuit of wonder. The unknown world. The unlucky devil gives us a toothy smile. You won't be disappointed. London is a city of wonders. It even gives we devils pause sometimes. He pauses for a moment and frowns. Wait, do you hear that? We listen carefully. At first, only the silence of the prison. Then, slowly, we hear it, soft but unmistakable. The sound of snoring. The devil stands up, brushing dust from his knees. Get ready. It's time. We're putting our plan into action. Our jailer is asleep, snoring behind his sackcloth hood. The gas lights are low on the wall, sending eerie flickers dancing along the smooth surface of the stalactite. It is time. Wriggle out of our manacles. We would be able to reach the jailer's keys if our hands weren't manacled together. Our equipment we own in the outfit we wear may affect what options are available to us. Go. Amateur escapology. These irons are, fortunately, quite poorly made. We work our wrists against the cuffs, chafing our skin as we begin to inch our hands free. We now have access to the Possessions tab. We'll need to go over there and remove our manacles. There we go. Story. The jailer's keys are in reach if we can filch without waking him. A shadowy challenge. Quiet as the grave. We reach as far as we can and feel the chill of metal against our fingers. The keys are within our grasp. With a muffled grunt, we stretch just a fraction further and close our hands around the keys. Without making a sound, we slip our arm back inside the cell and slip the key out into the lock. The unlucky devil is impressed. Quiet as church mice, we creep out from the cell. The unlucky devil closes the door behind us, and together we steal past the sleeping jailer. A dark arch looms ahead. Stairs lead further down, to where the dirigibles wait. Onward. Following the stairs down and down through New Newgate, we pass larders filled with mushrooms and candles, offices groaning with yellowing paperwork, and row upon row of cells, where grim faces peer out through the bars. A guard passes once, but we stay close to the shadows against the wall, and he walks by unseeing. At last you reach the final stair and the door to the dirigible berth. The light of the false stars washes over us as we step out into the cavern roof. A dirigible waits at the berth, its crew readying to depart. All that stands between us is a lone jailer, piling crates of food beside the door. Knock the jailer out. It wouldn't technically be murder. Death is rarely permanent in fallen London, but you can certainly inconvenience him. Here goes. Precision. The jailer barely has time to stand before we're upon him. He reaches for the cudgel at his belt, but we are faster. Once, twice, thrice about the temples, and he staggers, arms flailing as he tries to steady himself from falling over the edge. We push our advantage before he can recover. A smart knock to the chest has him overbalanced, and gravity does the rest. We grab the sack from his face as he topples away. The unlucky devil gives us a polite round of applause as the jailer disappears from sight. Shall we? The devil says, indicating the waiting dirigible. Wouldn't that mean we learn that he's a snuffer? Do we get to see snuffers' faces? Horrifying. As one, or together. The dirigible is ready to depart for London. We and the unlucky devil stand on a slim ledge beyond the prison door. The dirigible pilot has not noticed us yet. We have the jailer's sackcloth mask we could attempt to disguise, but there are two of us, and only one mask. Interrogate the unlucky devil. You know how this works, that his decision is going to come back to haunt you, isn't it? You won't be caught out, damn it all. This won't cost an action or advance the story. It's all in the details. The unlucky devil looks back at us with those amber eyes. He simply wishes to leave this place. He's not dangerous, no more than any other devil. And weren't you yourself incarcerated unjustly? Would you deny him the same release you seek? It will cost nothing to take him with you, and probably won't come back to bite us. Definitely won't come back to bite us, he insists. He does not favor biting. Well, take him with us, go it alone, or give him the mask. We'll take him with us. We can disguise ourselves as his jailer. The unlucky devil gives us a quick smile as he grasps our plan. He falls into step behind us as we negotiate with the dirigible pilot. The pilot has noticed nothing. He expects to meet a jailer, and now he has. Anything more is more than he's paid to notice. We settle in the berth of the dirigible, the unlucky devil beside us. With a swift untethering of ropes, the dirigible is free. Slowly we begin our descent until New Newgate is just one of the many stalactites high on the cavern roof. The dirigible slowly descends by degrees. We watch the false stars above become distant emerald glimmers. New Newgate slowly sinks from view, one stalactite among many. For the first time in a while, we have a moment to plan our course ahead. Where will we go when the dirigible lands? Watchmaker's Hill, a fungal wilderness on the edge of the city. Marsh wolves prowl its hinterlands where blind astronomers labor atop the hill. The Department of Menace Eradication plies its bloody trade here. Dangerous. Escape to spite. Foggy alleyways, ramshackle markets, and narrow tenements crowd together here. It is the poorest part of the city, peopled by the desperate and the dangerous. Honest work is hard to come by, but dishonest labor can be found in abundance. For the shadowy. Escape to Field Garden. Work. Us. Wine and the song and all the pleasures of the underworld now. Work later. Honey dens and public houses abound, and it's whispered all manner of sin can be found. For persuasive characters. Escape to Ladybones Road, a crowded street adjoining the train station to hell, a haunt of spies and informants, criminals and constables, dense with fog and mystery. It's rumored there's a detective there in need of any assistance he can get. For watchful characters like us. Ladybones Road. The dirigible spirals slowly down over the smoldering lights of fallen London. The cavern breezes of the Neath pluck at our clothing. As the dirigible passes low over Hangman's Arch, we leap, roiling as we land on the broad, flat top of the arch. It's an easy climb down from there. The heads of the recently hanged turn to watch us as we pass. One gives us a sardonic wink. Welcome to fallen London. The unlucky devil gives us one last smile. Hell will remember your kindness, he says, before walking away into the fog. We are alone once more, and all of London lies before us. Our actions were refreshed. 1,000 choices. We slipped through the streets, putting some distance between us and the drifting dirigible. We're free. We made it out of New Newgate prison and onto the streets of the city. Harsh realities. Of course, you're homeless, penniless, and carrying nothing more than the fetid clothes your captors provided us with. But now, we can start. We'll find many choices available to us now. Pull an opportunity card. The matter of opportunity. It's quite amazing what can land in your lap in fallen London. We unlocked this by not having any acquaintance, the dubiously shrewd rat. Go. Many stories begin through the opportunity deck, yes indeed, thank you. Gunpowder and Zeal, the revolutionaries. Some call them the Dynamite faction, but they're very far from united. Socialists, anarchists, foreign agents, only their hatred of the masters unites them. Seems like nothing we can do as a stranger. This is for people already friendly with them. Fifth City Stories contains recurring rewards. Certain stories may decide to save until later. What would this be? Huh. Did you say Fifth City? By what count is it the fifth of anything? Come again. The Fifth City. Perhaps an odd name to hear for someone newly arrived in fallen London, but that is what many have come to term it. Dig a little deeper, walk down the right or wrong streets, and perhaps you'll discover why. How interesting. They didn't have anything to tell me. Winding streets and treacherous cobbles, finding our way around fallen London isn't always straightforward. There was a certain percussive reconfiguration when the city fell, true, but more than that, the place seems to enjoy a somewhat confounding relationship with space. It may take some practice for us to find our feet, hit the cobbles, see if we can find our way from one area of the city to another. The ebb and flow of the streets. One of these days, we're really going to have to get ourselves some better shoes. Onwards. Travel. So now we have the ability to wander around the map. Not too many locations available to us just yet. That's cool, though. Stay in Ladybones Road, please. Yes, we're quite happy here. Winding streets and treacherous cobblestones. We already got this. We did this. Onwards. Why haven't they prompted me to find a home yet, is my question. Study the secrets of fallen London. Fallen London is a city of secrets. If we're here to find them, Ladybones Road is the place to start. Decipher graffiti. Visitors from hell come through here. Some of the scrawlings are bizarre, terrifying, or very, very funny. Some hold valuable secrets. It's starting to make sense. We gleaned some interesting tidbits about recent promotions and demotions in the hierarchies of hell. Listen to gossip at Hangman's Arch. Old women sell sugared mushrooms between executions at Hangman's Arch. They know a surprising amount about what goes on in the city. More whispered hints than deciphering graffiti would. That's interesting. The old woman gum and cackle and tell jokes that would make a sailor blush while the bodies of seditionists are removed from the nooses and carted off to exile. We learn a few petty but valuable secrets about local politics and the latest villainies going on in Flowerdean Rookery. Go mudlarking. All kinds of things wash up on the stolen river. If we have a good eye, we might get lucky. Poke around near the shore. This close in, the mud is fairly safe. They say a lighter loaded with contraband wine went down just the other day. Nothing. We floundered through the mud to no effect. So damned hard to see in this light. If any wine's still out there, we can't find it. Try again. Nothing. A lucky find. What's this? A rare bottle of absinthe abandoned in the mud. This'll fetch a good price. Was that actually a rare get? Or is that a spotted one? It was a rare one. It takes considerable sticky and revolting searching, but we find a broken case of wine half buried in the mud. A few bottles still remain. Now for a long bath. Go as far out as you can. The mud is treacherous if you're too far from the shore, sticky and devouring. You'll need to keep a sharp eye out. Found something. Sliding carefully across the filthy stuff, we reach an intact case of wine. Getting it back to the shore isn't much fun. Now for a long bath. Just get a failure too, why not? At least while they're free. I think very risky challenges might increase. I'm sure this has all changed since my heyday. Nothing. And we glimpse what might be a case and step carelessly. The mud lets loose a great belch of gas and tries its hardest to draw us in. We break free, but only at the cost of a shoe. We flounder hastily back to shore. Now for a long bath. Ambition, nemesis, someone we loved, is dead. Needs watchful 7. Making our name in Ladybones and making our name in Watchmaker's Hill. We swore we'd scour the world for the killer. That search brought us under the world. There will be a reckoning. Let's pull our opportunity cards. Wanted reminders of brighter days. We scan the classified advertisements at the rear of the Gazette. We would need scraps of incendiary gossip. Investigating the affluent photographer, we never hear about the calendar council in the newspapers. We've heard enough to believe in the reality of this cabal of criminals, revolutionaries. You're sure the affluent photographer is involved with the calendar council, but her valet is sharp-eyed. An honest call for help. You'll need help to investigate the affluent photographer. Of course, you'll share what you learn with your friend. A selfishness. Perhaps you know some gullible sort will do the work for you. There won't be a need to share your findings, of course. Going alone. For that I would need certifiable scraps. For this I just need whispered secrets. But I would need a friend to do it with. I could go friend all my other accounts and just field my own social actions automatically, which maybe I'll do. An invitation to linger. Interesting. London sometimes seems to demand blind hurry, but every so often the bustle of the streets slows down of its own accord and bids us to stop and listen to the city. The steam whistle of the Moloch Street Express screams in the distance. Another journey west begins. Let's just keep spending actions here first. Try again. Keep trying. Failures, but successes too. Watchfuls increased to 9. Still no new actions, huh? Still waiting on something new. Breathe. Is it a coincidence that the inner steam workings of the Moloch Street Express sound so exceedingly similar to the shrieks of, say, unwilling prisoners about to be hauled off to hell? This is the kind of idle philosophizing that helps to pass an empty morning. Time the Healer will unlock an invitation to linger again next week. A day at the shroom races. The hopping post. Shroom hopping races are a popular event at Bugsby's Marches. If you aren't lucky enough to attend the event in person, you can settle down with London's finest racing periodical. A disgraceful spectacle, shroom hopping indeed. That reminds us, we've been meaning to write to the papers a stern letter about the disgraceful spectacle of shroom hopping and the low behavior that it encourages. Only 12% chance, that's not enough. Yeah, it is. Oh. Ignominious anonymity. No one publishes our letter, although one editor mysteriously replies with an invitation to judge a jam weighing competition. Perhaps he's mistaken us for someone else. We gained austere, and our persuasive went up a little bit. Altars and alms can't do anything when we're not connected to them already. Yep. Alright, well, I guess all we're going to do then is blow through the rest of our actions. Continuing to level up. Hits are worth a lot on high difficulty challenges of CP, as they're called, change points. Well, still nothing new though. The last constable. We keep hearing stories of a constable who isn't like the others, a woman who works alone. What secrets does she know? Perhaps we could set up a meeting. It bears only a scrawled address and time, but that's enough. Working with her, she styles herself the last honest special constable in London, and she wants to bring down the cheery man who controls Watchmaker's Hill. Ask about the last constable about the feud. Perhaps we've heard the stories about the cheery man too. The beatings, the drownings, the cuttings. Perhaps we're hoping for a reward. Perhaps we're just curious. We find her cramped office above Caligula's coffee house. She looks up from a stack of bills. You came, thank you. I need your help. She comes downstairs for a cup of coffee. The staff brings her the usual, a dangerously deep mug of number 4 special. She drains half of it in one swallow. I'm sorry. I haven't been sleeping well. I'm the only one left, you see. The only one. The others all work for the ministry now. Masters, puppets. You've heard of the cheery man. He runs Watchmaker's Hill and half the docks. The last constable squeezes our wrist with a trembling hand. I've heard of you. From the surface, you can help. Will you? I'll send word to you. She will arrange another rendezvous soon. A card will appear in our hand shortly. Oops. We already blew through all our cards. Whoops. Alright, well, let's just finish out mudlarking and then call it a session. Seems like we've gotten things going. Anything new on lock at 11? No. I imagine completing this quest line will give us making our name in Watchmaker's Hill, and then that will unlock more actions. That seems likely with, I think, how these things are structured these days. And with that, we're out of actions. Nothing to be done for a while. See you soon.